Oi, oi. How we doing, people? Bit of a cut through there for the intro. Apologies for that. Technical issues. Technical issues. Yeah. Welcome to my new show, Monday night. Monday Night X is called. The first one today. Forever Unfiltered as well. Yeah. No fucking around on there. We're going to be reviewing the games that have just been, games about to come, and whatever fucking bollocks in between. And yes, due to popular demand as well, I know some of you are asking Yasser, I particularly like it. I know he calls him Senior Arsenal. My dad will be on from time to time because everyone seems
Mm.
to laugh. I don't know why. He's a prick. I love you, Dad. Big up away from the chat. So, again, yeah, we've seen Chelsea beat the mighty Wickham. We've seen Spurs struggle, but eventually top Samworth. We've seen City sink fucking Southend 8-0. We've seen a derby, Accrington, Stanley, and Liverpool, and 4-0 house burglaries through the fucking roof in Merseyside. And of course, Manchester United beat Arsenal. Like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Boys, shout your things out. We'll start with Touchline.
Touchline Facts on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Wrote the 350 subs and that. Gonna try and get it before the end of this month, but I'm about 40 subs off. So
nice,
yeah,
man. Yeah, big up, man. Yeah, people. Yeah, give these boys a shout. What about you, Yasser, brother?
Yeah, I'm on Yasser TV, and I think I'm like 121 something subs. Like, I ain't even been looking at it, to be fair. I've just been doing the videos, doing whatever, and just keeping it moving. But yeah, man, it's a hell of a journey, and obviously we've met so many people as well. Like Aaron, Touchline, you know, like it's like so strange the way we've just been meeting so many people that are on either on the same level as, yeah, I mean, as like young creators and stuff like that. It's just been amazing, to be fair.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, though, isn't it, man? That's one of the reasons why I do it. And obviously, like some people sort of say about, obviously they want to do it for the dough and things like that. You lot probably a little bit younger than I am. Do you know what I mean? I'm an old fucker at 35. I'm quite happy to just have a talk about football. Like you said, that's the best thing about it. It's just meeting new people. Do you know what I mean? And talking, picking other people's brains. Do you know what I mean? Seeing if I'm wrong, seeing if I'm right. Do you know what I mean? Trying to come to some fucking football sense. But yeah, what I'm going to do is while he's going to be on the way, I'll start with you, Yasser. Yeah, because obviously you got a nice convincing win, 5-0 at Morecambe. What do you reckon on that? Because I was on your stream for a little bit while you was watching it. It started a little bit, wasting chances, wouldn't you? But you got there in the end, didn't you, brother? What do you reckon, man?
Listen, after that first half, I started to agree a bit more with Arteta. To be fair, I was like, yo, maybe it could be the ball. Do you know what I mean? The way we just kept missing chance after chance, bro. I was like, yo, listen, is it the FA Cup ball? Do you know? That's what I was thinking, bro, because it didn't make sense at all. Yeah, but we just kept missing. The good thing was that they didn't really threaten us as much as they can. Like the first half, they just sat back, and we knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
We just, especially with the FA Cup, you knew that you have to bury your chances and just kill the game off, because there's this thing called the magic of the FA Cup, and you don't want to be the one that gets hunted down with it. You know what I mean? And yeah, man.
Nearly did beat Tamworth, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was on Deju's stream for that one, so I've seen how it went from almost downhill, freestyling, and thinking you're losing, and just about winning at the end. But it's like, yeah, man, it was like. Tosin was like, I think for me, the second half, we started to create a bit more chances. And with Felix, people call him a bit greedy because he has shots and stuff instead of passing the ball. But at least he was shooting from outside the box. And it's almost like he gave the initiative to Tosin, our defender, to start shooting from outside the box, because he managed to get 2 goals. If one was deflected, then the other one was a rocket from outside the box. I was like, oh, cool, we can get that from our defenders now, finally. Felix, for my opinion, played really well. At least for me, sometimes you can lose the ball, as long as you don't lose it under pressure. For me, that's the most important thing. Sorry, not under pressure, like without being pressed or just randomly losing the ball. Sorry, I meant under no pressure. Like carelessly. That's when I get annoyed about someone losing the ball, because sometimes you try, you will lose the ball a couple of times and then know what to do, especially with wingers. So yeah, man, I think Nkunku was the one playing up front, and he missed the penalty as well. So yeah, that I couldn't laugh at Odegaard for missing a pen, because my striker missed the pen.
Yeah, but you can laugh though, because we missed a decisive one. We'll get into that, obviously, when
because that was our first. Because we actually missed our first, but like that was our first. We thought, you know what, first half we can go in with an 1-0 and then just do what we want to do. But I think the goalkeeper saved the pen, and then They went into the second half, I think 0-0, and that's when we started scoring the goals, and that's also when they kind of tried to go forward a little bit more. But yeah, it was at the end of the day, it was Morecambe, but I was still happy with the win because considering the way our form was going before, sometimes you just need a win to just try to build on from that. And yeah, man,
Yeah,
man,
no,
we
facts.
can because we got Bournemouth next.
Yeah, yeah.
Not that
You Bournemouth, they're a bit of a bogey side for you boys, isn't they? Because like
yeah.
I think in like years gone by, like they've give you some heavy defeats, didn't they?
Yeah. We've lost. I I think especially that team with Eddie Howe and stuff that had like Stanislas, whatever his name is, Ake, all of those boys, Jordan Ibe, and like they were always problems for us. Even
Yeah,
Solanke and all those people. And it was like those are one of those teams a bit like Everton, where if you don't score early, they'll get a set piece or something, and then all of a sudden all your momentum that you've built in the game is just gone, and it
yeah,
just saps all the energy out of you, kind of game. But yeah, man, I think obviously the last fixture was the one where Jadon Sancho had his debut. And obviously I think he came on the second half, and he passed it. I think it was passed to Nkunku, and he scored his goal. They both came off the bench and kind of won us the game 1-0 at the end. But we got outplayed that game. And my fear is, especially with the form we've been having now, that we don't necessarily. I still think we should win, and obviously I hope we win. But yeah, we can't go there and think we're gonna win and be complacent because we've seen how good they are this season.
yeah, yeah. They've took us apart when we've sort of played them. I remember Bill Saliba. I think we lose 2-0 to them. I think when we had that mad Trossard or he left it really tricky to Bill Saliba, and then I
Yeah.
think he just fouled him. Then you got the red card, and then it just all went askew from there for us. But yeah, they're a tricky sort of team, Bournemouth. And do you know what? It surprised me going back to Chelsea. Yeah. And sort of mentioning about, you needed to win. I just had a quick look. I didn't realize you hadn't won in four. I knew you'd sort of dropped off from that, like
Mhm,
early sort of season sort of form that you was in, picking up the good wins. I
mhm.
didn't realize you was winless in the last
So we
four.
got so we got 2 points out of 12.
Yeah,
And yeah, man, it's strange because I think we went to Everton and drew. We just, when you just can't get your shooting boots and just lose the game. And Everton's one of those places that you go there and you're gonna get stifled. It's just you could potentially struggle unless you get deflection. Sometimes you need some luck playing against these low block teams. We went there. Obviously, we drew that game, and I thought, you know what, we'll turn it around. And I think the game after that was Fulham. So we went up to Fulham. We
tricky place again.
scored the first goal, and then we decided for some stupid reason to concede 2 goals. And then went to Ipswich, and thought I will turn this one around. Obviously, Delap done the little dive, and we tried to score, and we literally we had so many chances, and one was given offside and whatever, but we still didn't do enough to, at least in that game we kind of pressed a bit more, and I feel like there was more urgency compared to the Fulham game. But yeah, and then we just went to Crystal Palace, scored early again, but didn't capitalize. Not sometimes you need to score the second, the third, especially if you score early, just to kill the game off and then just control it. But yeah, we
Yeah.
just hasn't been going our way, and also we haven't been finishing, to be fair. So
Was
yeah,
was obviously Felix, he scored 2, yeah, against Morecambe. What's he been like since you've signed him? So obviously I know you had him on loan, didn't you?
Mm.
But what's he been like now he's yours?
he hasn't been playing much in the league. He's mainly been playing in the Conference League. But when he came into the league itself, it's just he's been kind of hot and cold. And players like Felix sometimes are like confidence players, so they almost have to play every game, and then to kind of build their confidence up. So even certain players, you play them even in poor form, because that they can. That's the type of players they are. They don't thrive of just coming off the bench and giving you a couple of minutes, because they kind of need that whole game to fight, like just get into the game, because they need to get into the rhythm of the game as well. And he has been doing well in certain parts of like the times he's been playing in, but he still hasn't been playing like as often
Yeah.
as we like. Because recently we've been also saying like just play Palmer on the right, put Felix in the 10, leave Sancho on the left, and maybe even put someone else up front. It's also kind of coincided with Jackson kind of not scoring as much as he did before. His finishing's kind of not been as good as it was from all the way up to our Everton game, where he's kind of been scoring quite often. He had a few misses, and it kind of cost us because he's the one with the decisive chances at the end of the day. But we also have that little issue with Nkunku as well, because we keep hearing that he's not a 9, he's a 10. But there's already Felix ahead of him, and he's not going to play him in the 9. We're in this situation where he's still our best finisher, technically. If you look at our team and see who can actually finish the best, or the ball striking ability and all that stuff, he's probably the best one out of all of them, especially in our front line. But yeah, he doesn't want to play up front, so he's kind of done what Jesus done and said, I can't play up front, but he can, he can. So yeah, so we just have to, it's all kind of depends now on our signings and what we're going to do, because we haven't really been that bad defensively. It's just been the Sassy at right back kind of messing about, or Sanchez, small things. But yeah, my thing is just hopefully we could just look past that and see, because we're still in contention for the top 4. That's the only reason why you don't really see me, because I'm still around where I think we should end up at the end of the season. But if that starts slipping away is when you're going to start, because you can already see Chelsea fans kind of looking sideways at Maresca anyway, some of the things he's been saying at the press conferences and whatever. And I know that if he doesn't make top 4, he might not last. He might not last.
I mean, yeah, you're sort of saying that, but like one thing I do know as well, at the minute, the coefficiency for England, I think we're sort of first in however they do it. I don't know the exact ins and outs of it, but at the minute, we've got the highest coefficient, so we've got that 5th place of the Champions League, innit? So, I mean, that makes a massive sort of difference, and as I'm looking at the table, you're in 4th, only 4 points behind us in 2nd, and Nottingham Forest obviously on the same point. So there's nothing really in it there. Well, obviously, you'll sort of be more sort of sniffing around somewhat Newcastle, who literally are in absolute fire. They've won the last 5 in the league. Obviously, they absolutely pulled our pants down at the Emirates. Really annoying. And then Manchester City, is that the ones that you sort of the most, because they're in 6th, 2 points behind you. And the thing is with Man City, man, we all know what they like at the end of when it gets to that second half of the season, man. They've been shit, haven't they? Let's get it right. And I'm sure Touchline will be absolutely double happy that Manchester City have fallen off. But they're a different animal, aren't they? I'll bring Touchline in on that with the Man City thing, just because he's been waiting there patiently. What do you reckon on the Man City thing? Just quickly, do you reckon they'll catch Chelsea up and manage to get the top 4?
Yeah, 100%.
4 points in it, 2 points in it. Sorry, you know what I mean?
Unlike Arsenal, do you get what I'm saying? They went out, they had a bit of a
he's already got them digs going on.
They had a bad one of form, and they've done it. We're 13 days in, and they've had 3 players already. Do you get what I'm saying? They are not fucking around. They're a serious football club. Do you get what I'm saying? Arsenal sit there on their arse all day, bruv. Eddie, signing dogs. Do you get what I'm saying? They're going to get a new dog called Nothing or something. Do you get what I'm saying? It brings the spirits, bruv. Do you get what I mean? I mean, I'm sure that all these injuries are coming from the fact that the dog shit on the training ground. They must have slipped over it or something.
Your Touchline. He did ask you your opinion about City and not Arsenal.
Yeah, I know.
I
got. You know what I mean?
He just went. He's
itching.
Patiently.
No. Keep that.
We're learning here, yeah. We're learning here because I thought, do you know what? He's waited there. You know what I mean?
No, he can't hold himself back.
Waiting for Rashid. Yeah, he can't. I thought, do you know what?
Wait for Rashid. Wait for Rashid.
We lost 2-0 to them in the league, and they were sitting there on Northside show, and it was all like, "Oh, let's get a Touchline on." They started trying to cook me, and now look, bro, look how the tables have turned. The tables have turned, man. The tables have turned. The turn have tables. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, but City will catch Chelsea. They're only like 3 points off now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just looking. Yeah, it's 2 points. Yeah, I mean, City, they've in their last 6, they drew 1, lost, drew. Well, they've obviously won their last 2, and then they just spanked South at 8-0. What I was sort of going to say to you before you decided to turn it into an Arsenal question, Touchline, is I was going to say, yeah, like I said, that point, they're 2 points behind, and we know that Manchester City they're a different animal. I know they've not been the same this season, that they haven't, but they just do something different, didn't they, in that second half of the table? I'm not going to lie, boys. Like, I reckon they'll catch us. I reckon they'll probably finish second for me, Man City.
Will. They might.
Yeah.
Listen, I got Forest to win the league. Do you get what I'm saying? I got Forest winning the league. Do you get what I'm saying? You're off. Watch tomorrow.
I'm not laughing. Oh boy, I'm not laughing. I don't.
They're
But I'm
going
not
to
being funny. If Arsenal don't win it,
Liverpool tomorrow. They're
I'm
going to beat Liverpool. Trust me, they're going to beat Liverpool tomorrow, and they're winning the league. I promise you now, it's gonna happen. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't promise they'll win the league, but I can promise they're beating Liverpool. They're not losing to Liverpool. They're not losing. No chance. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, they had their number at Anfield, man. They really did have their number. Yeah.
Liverpool are in great form as well.
Was it last season or the season before? I think they've done them 1-0 at Anfield as well, Nottingham Forest. I know obviously they're not at Anfield, they're gonna be at home, aren't they? But yeah, wait, listen, that's a good point, Touchline, man. You know, I don't, like I said, I don't agree with you with Nottingham Forest winning the league. But why not? Also, that is also the counter argument. Why not? I mean, we've seen Leicester do it, but I don't know. Do you know what? Just quickly, and I said this on Long Hair Jetty's channel. Yeah, big up Long Hair Jetty. I would actually rather have what Nottingham Forest have got at the minute. And by that, I mean, when we look at Arsenal, yeah, we're not playing for the fucking manager. We're disjointed. We've got no team cohesion whatsoever. It's all over the place. It's shit to watch. But whilst we do have you'd supposedly say inferior squad and better players, you'd say on paper, when you've got that squad unity, do you know what I mean? That's a whole new thing. And we've seen Leicester win the league with that. Do you know what I mean? When you've got that togetherness, that I will fight for you, I'll stand here in the fucking trenches with you. Let's go to battle together. I'll cover every single bit of blade of grass for you. That togetherness, man, it's better than a load of fucking a load of talented individuals. And I mean, some of our individuals ain't even that talented.
Why can't they win the league? Why can't Nottingham Forest win the league?
Yeah. I'm almost sort of half arguing myself. They can win the league. They can absolutely win the league. I just don't think they will. But look, they can. I mean, 100%. And let's get it right. I would rather fucking see them win the league. I don't think. I think me and Yasser sat here. I don't think our teams are going to win the league. I mean, you might say different, Yasser. What do you reckon? What do you reckon?
No, I don't think we're winning the league, and that's one of the reasons why you didn't hear me, even when Normski was trying to put me under pressure before, and everyone else kept asking me. If I thought we had 10% chance, or like I believe that this team can win the league, I would have been one of the first people to say we're winning the league.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because for me, it's more, I didn't actually feel like we can win it. Like, I didn't think the squad was good enough. I don't think, because everyone has a chance, right? It's just, you can have a chance, but not actually get there. That's like that's like when people do the 100-meter sprint race. Everyone has a chance, but Usain Bolt was winning. If it's the second one. But it's that kind of thing. I just didn't think we were, like, when I looked, I still felt like we had holes. Like, I don't think Sanchez can win you a league title as a goalkeeper. I don't think so, like someone like a Desassi can win you a league title. Like, I still feel like we got some holes that we need to fix, and then I can say, you know what, this team is good enough to win a league title, and I'll back them all the way. When it comes to City, because this is the thing, we all knew that they were going to spend money, right? There's people moaning, like it's usually Liverpool fans and some Arsenal fans that are, well, Pep had a chance to finally actually coach his team for once, and not act, but he decided to spend the money. But we all know that he needed to spend the money.
Yeah.
Right? He ain't got a DM, and I know what's happening with that DM. I have a feeling that they'll just wait to the end of the month and then just release clause someone. Do you know what I mean? Just get someone, whether it's Mendy or someone else, just get him a release clause.
He's still got his release clause, isn't he? That's
it's still on there.
Around 50-ish million there or thereabouts, isn't it?
And then at the same time, it's about, for me, they are strengthening, which is exactly what they need to do. And even if they don't end up winning the league this season, there'll be a major threat next season, because you don't even know what they're going to do in the summer. Yeah. From what I've seen from Bin Khaldoon and all those people, those people that run Man City and all their documentaries and stuff, they don't speak like how some of our owners speak. He was like, listen, if Pep doesn't win the league this season, it's a failure. And you've seen them make those dealings, and whether it's the Amazon Prime documentary that they did before, and that you get an idea that even the ownership themselves want to keep winning and kind of want to stay up there. And I feel like what got them here is their complacency. from last summer because they looked at everyone else. No one spent money. They had the best team in the league technically, if you looked at it that way. But I still feel like it was stupid to kind of bank on no one getting injured because you can always get anyone can get injured. No one would have banked it's going to be Rodri, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you just hope
and
it's
man. What difference that team is without Rodri
because
as well? Because was it last season? Just quickly, man. Was it last season? I think they didn't have him. I think he got suspended or something like that. For like 3 or 4 games on the bounce, they either like drew or sort of lost without him.
Because people don't understand the importance of someone in the midfield, especially someone like a Rodri. And then if you go back, you had Sergio Busquets and stuff. Yeah, you remember those people so important to their midfield, even though they always look like they're doing the simple things, and anyone can do what they do, kind of just move the ball around. But it's kind of not like a Declan Rice where he's doing the simple things, but it doesn't have any effect in midfield, if that kind of makes sense. What someone like a Rodri does in that midfield, especially the way he just transitions the ball and stuff like that, it's so important to their play. Especially him also getting all the goals that he gets, the important goals he gets for the team. You know, it's kind of like a lesson for us to see, like, because that's what I've always said, Man City is always beatable. Regardless of whether you think your team is close enough or not to them, we should always aim to the same way they got to the top. Any one of us can get there.
Yeah. Now, facts. Touch on just quickly. I knew Manchester City were doing fucking moves exactly like what we're not doing. The polar opposite. Who is it that they've actually gone in for? Because I know who was it that they've just had a little 35 million bid on someone fucking.
So there's Marmoush. That striker. He can play along the front three, and I think he's a false 9 or a striker, Egyptian. And then you also have they got an Eastern European defender. Apparently, he's really young, but apparently they're gonna put him straight into the starting 11.
Touchline.
And there's another.
Go on.
And there's another guy. I think is it Victor Touchline? Is it Victor Reese or something? That
I don't know. I don't even know. They signed 2 unknown players for like 80 million or something combined, and then they've signed Marmoush. They're going to sign Marmoush for about 50, 60 mil.
They're not fucking around. One of the things I wanted to ask you, because obviously Man United's got their own sort of project going, and we'll sort of nudge sort of over towards sort of the Manchester United side of things. Who's going to win the league first again? Is it going to be Manchester City? Is there just instant rebuild? Because they've obviously got Kevin De Bruyne, their agent, Paul Walker, as to Manchester United. Because obviously, you know, you're back in, and I know that's probably an obvious to some people, but the point I'm going to say is like this is also a squad rebuild at Manchester City. Now, you know, and by that I mean Kyle Walker's going to go. Kevin De Bruyne is, you know, not there. I don't think Haaland will stay forever, to be honest with you. You know, I don't think he's going to be there for the next 5 years, maybe the next couple of years. I don't know. But, you know, they've got young players coming through, you know, like Savio's and the Doku's on the wings, as opposed to, you know, usually they've had Sterling's and Sane's who have been good at the time. You know, they've had Mahrez's, etc. What do you reckon about your sort of projects and where sort of going at Manchester United? Do you reckon it's sort of going in the ways where you will be sort of competing? Because, you know, you're signing some good players.
We won't win the league before City because they've got Pep in it. You know
but he's not going to be there as well. Do you know what I mean?
But he's got at least 2 more years. I think he wins the league again. Do you know what I'm saying? I think the rest of the Prem ain't serious enough. Do you get what I'm saying? So he's going to win the league before United. Although if he was going, I thought he was going to ask me Arsenal or Man United.
No, we'll wait for the sort of them sort of comparison.
There's no chance of them winning the league. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
800 million down the drain. No trophies again.
Emotional damage.
Have they not started singing Trophyless again? Ole, ole. Not started singing that. I thought that's what they started singing every time. You know what I mean? They start doing set piece again. Ole, ole. Do you get what I'm saying?
Not
set
just
piece.
yet. I know. Yeah. Oh, that's I know that's madness. So that's just annoying. Like we fucking did do you 2 set pieces at home again, but it's fucking frustrating. You know, that was obviously in the league. You know, I think that was our. I think that's our what was it, 7th fucking straight victory with Man United, or not straight victory, but maybe like 7 games in a row. I think where we haven't lost. One of our best records because we'd been shit against Manchester United for such a long time. And I mean, it's fucking obvious. You had the likes of Wayne Rooney, Carlos Tevez, fucking Cristiano Ronaldo, and Berbatov attacking our defensive fucking what's it? Probably Armand Traore, Mustafis, and fucking all of that. Well, maybe not Mustafis for that sort of era, but you absolutely ran through us for a long time. So at least we've managed to get a fucking little bit back over here. But go on, mate.
Are we going to win big trophies? I don't know.
What's that for you boys?
No, he's talking about you.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll answer that. Under this manager, absolutely fucking not. I have never, honestly, Touchline, mate, I have never believed in a human being, not even just a football manager, not even just a football person, not even just a person. I've never believed so little in a human being, as little as I believe in Mikel Arteta. It's as simple as that. I think he has to go. The longer he stays at this football club, the more it prolongs the inevitable. He will be sacked and should be sacked. The longer he stays at this football club, the longer the fucking misery continues. But do you know what the worrying thing about it, Touchline, is, mate? Is that this club, and we've seen it over not just a course of this little regime, if you want to call it that, we've seen it for a couple of decades now. When it comes to the crunch, when it comes to that big sort of time, that pivotal moment, Arsenal do not show any bollocks whatsoever. They shit the bed and leave the skid marks on the way out of it. They are no good. You know, so look, we were sort of saying just very, very briefly, I think, before we come on, and we was talking about Ancelotti. I believe that would be a fantastic appointment. He's not got that much left, Ancelotti, granted, but he's probably got 150 fucking percent. He's probably got 2 or 3 years, sorry, I meant to say, sort of left in him. And, you know, we probably want a new challenge anyway, and Real Madrid will definitely be binning him. You'd have thought at least by the end of the season. I think it's tailor-made for us. You know, come in, there's good players at this football club. Not great players, but good players under a good manager would get a lot more out of them. Let's get this right as well, Touchline. And I don't know whether you'll agree with me with this, but if we had Carlo Ancelotti for the last 2 seasons, we would have at least won the Premier League once.
You won a trophy. You would have done more than what you've done. Do you get what I'm saying? Ancelotti 100% is the biggest fraud in the. I don't know how. Listen, like, bruv, he's got pretty privilege. I mean, if Arsenal fans didn't want to get stuck up him, if they didn't fancy him, he wouldn't have made it as far as he's made it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how he's conned millions into believing.
Mate, he's put something in the fucking water, mate.
This is a sickness. It is
Yeah, mate. Honestly, like I said to you, he's put something in that fucking water at the Emirates. I'm telling you, man. Like, there's something just ain't right with people. Well, thankfully, I don't drink it. Do you know what I mean? I just drink the watered down fucking beer. But thankfully, the poison that he's put in that don't really affect me because there's fucking shit, watered down crap there. But mate, like you're and £7 a pint, mate. I just add. I don't know what the prices of a beer is like at your ground, but fucking £7.
I don't have beer. I don't drink beer. So I think it's disgusting. But yeah, I wouldn't even try and get a beer. To be fair, outside Old Trafford, I don't know if it's at Emirates. Outside Old Trafford, they have loads of pubs in it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So that's probably where people buy beers. I don't think you can drink beer in the ground. I don't think they have beer at Old Trafford. I think they have it outside the ground with the pubs in it.
Yeah.
I never see people sell the price of the beer at Old Trafford is this. I never see that. It's usually just they sell like water and Coca-Cola and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what it is for me, yeah? It's Arsenal fans are so used to having one manager. Because especially people my age, I only know Arsene Wenger. I don't know anyone else, right? Yeah. They've seen Liverpool get successful with one manager. Sorry. You get it? They've seen it work with Klopp. One manager, won a few years, built something. They've seen Pep. It's almost like they see it as that's the only way of success. Getting one young manager or someone that's young and he'll build and it'll work. But it's not every time you build it's going to work. There's always stumbling blocks.
No. Right? Real talk. How many managers have actually worked with this trust the process nonsense?
Big up AJ.
How many?
Big up AJ. Yeah, mate.
Bro, I don't know because I've never had a trust the process manager. This is my first one, or the last 3 ones, but they're all gone. You know what I mean?
Do you know what I'm saying? How many have actually come in and took 4 or 5 years to make your team good and worked? Probably like 5 in the history of football.
But you know, have you realized even mid-table clubs and lower, it doesn't work. Like
But
Wolves always change managers, and they don't really
Yeah.
have pressure.
you know
Do
what's
you get what
you
I'm
know
saying?
with-
Like all these other clubs, they always seem to have not really a lot of pressure, but they always change their manager because whoever manager they get in, like a Marco Silva when he was at Wolves and Everton, he did never got the 5 years to do the process thing.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
You know with Klopp, yeah. You know with Klopp had a CV to look back on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
fact.
League with Dortmund, he got Mainz promoted. Arteta's done nothing in the game to warrant the level of arrogance he's got and to warrant the level of backing he's got. Do you get what I'm saying? He's
Fact,
done
bro.
nothing. He's not a good manager. Like they just need to accept that they got it wrong. They just accept.
yeah, but with
fans
the Arsenal fans, it's more they have to see it to believe it. So they have to get to that position, feel the pain,
Look what happened
and
at
that's when they
Wenger.
realize because this is the thing, yeah. I think now they're in a hope phase. Like until recently, it's been a hope phase where they just hope that it's gonna turn around like a Disney film, and then Arteta saved the squad and X, Y, and Z and whatever, right? And especially getting close in the league has given them that false hope. Okay, next year. But for me,
Next
knowing-
season, a mate.
yeah, but
Because they
knowing that,
always, you know, what it is? Yes, sir. They always thought, yeah, that the club could go up like that. They never thought it could go back down because every other club, even Man City, you're seeing it now. They were going up and they have a drop off because it's just inevitable. Every team has a drop off. So why didn't their team that isn't as great not have a drop off?
yeah. So this is the thing, yeah. With Man City, they're the exception to the rule. One, they spend the money and they get the players, and they got Pep, right? And he always changes. So like he always gets new players in and stuff. So he's actually because he's and the owners actually want to stay at the top. So there's these factors that other clubs don't have, and that's one of the reasons why they don't maintain the thing at the top. As soon as they get to the top, they fall off. So that's why we used to win the league one year, fall off the next year 15th. The year after that, we'll get a new manager in, we win the league again. It's just one of those things. But for me, it's more City is just so focused on winning and stuff, and it's not the same at other clubs. So even when you got second, Aaron, or your club got second, I don't know where the hope came from. Where was the hope coming from in terms of you knew that they're not gonna spend in the transfer window. So how did you expect to still be second or first? Does that make sense? Not you specifically, but to the fans that believe that for some reason they were always going to be at the top. If you don't get injuries for X amount of years, like you did in the beginning, right? And everything was going well. Anything he was doing, like moving Saliba coming back, he was already there. Saka was there. Do you know what I mean? Moving Ben White right back, it worked. Do you know what I mean? All these things were working. My thing has always been that Arsenal were overperforming at some point. That first couple of years where you were playing exciting football, whatever, it was almost like an all-time high. Everything was nice. All the players were performing, and you were just going forward. When adversity hit, exactly, and it was almost like there was not really any other club besides City challenging. Yes, there was Liverpool, but they had that every once in a while when they went downhill, right? When they're kind of floating around, they're not really. It was really just City that was around you, challenging or overtaking you or whatever. And you just keep looking at it, and it was like there's no improvement. Part of it's also that the manager has kept moving around his philosophy, and I don't know what he was doing, because I always compared it to FIFA. One week it's ultra defensive, 1 week it's ultra attacking. You could just press that button, and for some reason you just switch this team around. And that can obviously affect the players because they don't really know if the manager keeps changing it around, does he himself believe in what he's doing? Or he just kind of the blind leading the blind? That's what it felt like.
It is, mate. 100%. It's a blind leading the blind in terms of from the top. It's the blind fucking, i.e., the Cronkies picking Arteta, leading his team. You know what I mean? It's the blind leading the blind leading the blind. And do you know what? Big up Ozzy and big up Mama as well in the chat. Ozzy mate, always makes a sort of a good point when he's on. I always like to elaborate on it as well. Was like that 2 years ago that you were starting talking about, Yasser, when Arsenal were playing exciting football. We raced through, the first half of the season, we were blitzing teams. And, even maybe into the second sort of third of the season, we were still sort of up there. And then obviously we start tailing off. Sort of from that point, and Ozzy makes this point quite well. Why the fuck did at the end of the season, all right, you fell off, you know what I mean? You bottled it, whatever you want to label it as. Why did we just rip that up and go, do you know what? We need a whole new fucking system. Why didn't they, like Liverpool, just add to them sort of players. Like Jurgen Klopp's rock and roll sort of football, yeah. When he was coming second to Manchester City, when he lost the final to Real Madrid 3-1, when Loris Karius had the absolute stinker, they didn't just go, yeah, this don't work, and fucking rip the whole thing up and start over again. No, he just added a good solid base to that football. They still played exactly the same way. They just added Alisson, they just added Van Dijk, and then couple of little solid players to build around it. What Arteta's done is he got all the fans probably quite on side, or a lot of the fans at least somewhat on side, purely because it's in the 8th, the 5th, and then all of a sudden, fuck me, we're blitzing teams and we're top of the league. You know, at one stage, I think we could have gone 11 points clear or something, with games in hand, of course. And we was jumping, smashing teams. Why the fuck? While you've got everyone on side, the atmosphere in that Emirates, and trust me, I've got a season ticket, as you boys know. I've been to some stinky fucking seasons, mate. Some horrendous atmospheres at that bastard of a stadium. And let me tell you, mate, like that season was actually somewhat of a fucking joy because we was playing well. And it's one of them things you can always sort of lose quite well. I don't mind losing as long as we played well and, you know, the other teams, you know, play better or whatever. That's all cool. They're the ones you can take on the chin. But why the fuck does he have to rip the shit up and go, do you know what? Now we need to play this horrible defending, attacking, pragmatic football. Now, he sort of got it sort of ish right to some sort of stage last season, I'd say, but he still didn't fucking win anything. We'd done the Dubai break. He come back, you know, we started blitzing teams again, and then we started shitting the bed again. But this season, mate, it's been horrendous. He's literally ripped up everything. We don't attack. Our defense has got even worse. We're horrendous on the eye. This geezer, you know, we've gone like that, like you're saying, we've had our little peak, our incline. We've won no fucking trophies, and now we've fallen off the cliff only after 2-3 fucking years of even being remotely in the conversation. I mean, fucking help me out. That's what I'm saying. What Touchline was saying. You know, we've like Man City, they had that sort of incline, like Liverpool's and all of that, but they fucking won the lot. Look at Chelsea. You've had you know what I mean. You've had seasons, mate, especially under Abramovich, where you know what I mean. You've done that, and all right, you had your little fall off now, but you're coming back. Arsenal's had that with no fucking success. It's madness, mate.
That's where my thing always came, and I always used to say, you can't accept the years you haven't won in terms of the recent years where you weren't getting the other trophies. I said you don't want to leave this period empty-handed, which is known as that bigger fist of fries thing. Yeah, I understood that you may not get a league title or whatever, but clean up everything else. Because if you haven't won the league title, you can say, you know what, we've tried going at every season, but we won X, Y, and X, which is what you've been doing under Wenger with the FA Cups and stuff. That's one of the reasons why, up to now, it's not as bad. We could literally call you Tottenham. If it wasn't for Wenger with the FA Cups, you would have had nothing all the way up to now, especially from when he left.
The last thing would have been 2004, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so Alexis Sanchez, they would have won 0 trophies in 21 years.
Yeah. No.
And the worst thing is every one of your players that is either trash or whatever is ending up going places, winning things. Szczesny, we saw Szczesny win a trophy yesterday. And you just see your players, Giroud winning here, this guy's winning here. Do you get what I mean? And it's like, why do you have to wait? Why does it have to be 20 years? I remember it recently. I think when I used to watch AFTV, it wasn't even that much. 2017, it was like 11 years or whatever. It's already been 20 years now, 21 years.
You know what's mad?
21, bro.
About that, though, is like when they were doing the whole Wenger out thing, there was a way out of it. Do you get what I'm saying? There was a way out. Like Wenger weren't on that much money, as much as Arteta's on. And Wenger weren't spending as much money. So they knew when they upped the spending, they would have ended up getting better anyways. Arteta's spent loads of money, bruv. Yeah.
Oh, but I've seen people say it's 700 million in today's money is not as much. That's what I was reading just now about someone on Twitter.
You spent 800 million in it, no?
Well, the guy was saying, what was he saying? Yeah, why do people keep highlighting the 700 million spent?
I heard Arsenal looking for a new manager. I'd like to put myself forward. You know what I'm saying? Listen, he's gone 2 trophies, mate. That's better than Arteta's done.
100%, bro. Yeah, that's it. Took 2 trophies and what was it? 2 seasons. Fucking fact, man. Yeah, big up, geezer. And big up Vic as well in the chat, man. Yeah, do you know what I mean? He's saying, yeah, he's just pissed off. This is what Vic's basically every single Arsenal fan here. Well, every single Arsenal fan with a fucking brain. I'm just pissed off about the last 5 years. Half a decade, man. That's 5 years. But when you say half a decade, it just sounds so much fucking worse, doesn't it? Half a decade.
You know, if you don't win the League Cup next year, that will be guaranteed 6 years without a trophy because you ain't winning the league or the Champions League.
Oh, no
So literally,
chance.
if you don't win the League Cup, that's 6 years.
Well, we
And
ain't
he's
fucking.
desperate
Mate, we
for
ain't
it, bro.
overturning 2-0 at St James's Park. No fucking way.
No, I mean,
chance.
League Cup next season. League Cup next
Oh,
season. Like,
yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
play next season. You ain't winning. You've already trophies done this season. You're not winning anything. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I'd rather be Man United. I'd rather be Man United. We're 13th, cool, but we can win 2 trophies this season and finish
what's it?
8th.
You and
I'd take that
Europa,
over
ain't you?
second.
Yeah.
Say?
You and
Yeah,
Europa
we're
League, ain't you? Yeah.
we're one of the best squads in the Europa. And in the
Yeah,
FA
yeah,
Cup,
no, definitely.
so why can't we
The
go
only,
there?
the only one of the only teams I think it was Galatasaray and Tottenham. That's the ones
Yeah,
that I know
Tottenham,
that
I've
in it.
heard about Tottenham.
Be dangerous.
Lazio as well, to be fair.
Yeah. Or
Like,
no one's worried about Tottenham, man. Let's get that right. Whoever.
If we
well,
play
Aaron,
Tottenham in the final,
Aaron, chill. You don't know yet. Well, you got them in the next couple of
they're
days, bro.
gonna, but you're forgetting, even if Tottenham beat them, it's in a league game. Do you get what I'm saying? Tottenham in the league are different to Tottenham in semi-finals.
Yeah. Tottenham ain't winning anything in this league. Whether they beat us or fucking not, they're still not winning that league. Do you know what I mean?
Saka. Look. I'll replace Saka. To be fair, bruv, Xerxes, sent fucking Saliba to early trip to Real Madrid, mate. Do you know what I mean? Put him on his bum.
Oh, Zerkamp.
Double nutmeg.
Yeah, my guy Zerkamp. Yes.
Zerkamp.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Mate, let me tell you, Xerxes is nowhere fucking near that geezer, man. You've had some ballers at Manchester United, granted, bruv, but nowhere near Xerxes, nowhere near. And Odegaard, mate, our own fans are fucking doing it. Odegaard and fucking Xerxes put together times fucking 10 ain't even fucking late in that country.
They actually said Kai Havertz was the next Bergkamp.
Oh, mate, it fucking makes you sick. That's even fucking worse. That is even fucking worse. But you know what?
The reason I don't say anything
Kai
about
Havertz, hold on.
Bergkamp by far.
I got one too.
Useless fucker.
Oh, where?
Mate.
Listen,
Kai Havertz don't just need taking out that team. He needs the fucking electric chair, mate. Honestly, like he just needs to not exist anymore, man.
Lads, big up when we protest on this, mate. Yeah, big up your channel and big up.
You know what it is? You know what it is, Aaron? The reason I'm really with the Zerkamp thing is because I'm Dutch, innit? So I like Bergkamp.
Yeah.
And I was kind of, I was kind of hyping up, bro. When he went to step to take that penalty, I kind of got flashbacks from the Euros with Saka and that, because I knew, the minute he missed.
Who's this Odegaard John about?
No, Xerxes. If he missed that penalty, he's like last week he was getting booed anyway for getting hooked at halftime. He was gonna get it if he missed that penalty. We knew that, innit?
Is it?
Because the thing is, obviously Touchline knows his fan base better, but you know the way they love Højlund. Even though he was poor in the whole game.
Fancy him, bro.
But he's been so poor. But they for some reason the player that's been there for a year, and that's when 0016 without scoring, they prefer him over the guy who's literally just come in. But they keep telling you to give Højlund more time.
Exactly.
Then they say, well, this guy hasn't got a touch and X, Y, and Z. But it's almost
is
like
that you're on about Spasmus Højlund?
Yeah, I call him Asmus, but yeah.
I mean, either way, do you know what I mean?
He's just there backing his ass into the defenders like a
and then you see he just pushes players, and it's like the ball just goes past him, and he's too busy fighting someone and wrestling. And then you seen it yesterday with that clip that's going around. Xerxes, nice first touch. Even obviously he didn't finish one of the chances. That was a good save that also deflected or whatever. But when he got to that penalty spot, I think he was kind of on the edge of the box, innit? And he tried to go near post, and Raya kind of flipped it out. But it was like,
yeah, that's the
for me,
he made a good little save on the right hand side of the post.
Yeah.
On target. I don't think Højlund had a shot all game. Xerxes come on like 2 shots on target.
Him and Ahmad, him and Ahmad link up so well together as well. That's the thing.
Listen,
it transforms your attack.
Højlund is just honestly, he's so bad, and he's con millions, into saying, oh yeah, but if you give him service, but then when you have Xerxes may not score like a ridiculous amount of goals.
He got more goals than him though.
Yeah, in the league, but it's not even money to score a ridiculous amount of goals, but he at least has shots. Do you get what I'm saying? At least fans himself into positions. Do you get what I'm saying? At least has a shot on target. At least test the goalkeeper. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas Højlund, brother, yesterday I said it was we were basically playing with 9 men when Højlund was on the pitch.
It was 7. I looked at it as 7 because even Garnacho was one of them. Garnacho was the guy that wasn't there. Højlund wasn't there.
Garnacho
and he got 10 men.
Was running forward. Do you know what I'm saying? At least he'd done something like that. Højlund, it was so easy. It was like every time we were sending it long, and then Saliba will just jogs into bang, gets the ball.
This is the
Streaks
thing.
out.
If you're gonna play Hoyland, if you're gonna play Hoyland, he kind of he's like a free version of Vlahovic. Left foot, you know those left foot. No. Wait. I never said he's the same, but he's kind of the playing style similar, yeah. In terms of their body size, you know, like the way they play with their left foot, that kind of thing, yeah. He's just so rubbish in terms of as a player, this guy, yeah. But play it through the channels and let him get it through with the pace. But the problem was when Eric was there, Mr. Ten Hag, the guy that's in the chat.
Eric, I was gonna say, yeah.
So the way you play with Xerxes, right? It's like. Do you remember how they used to play with Berbatov? It's kind of like that. Man, he's not. He reminds you of that kind of player, but he's nowhere near him with quality and all that.
Yeah.
But if you see him, he's that player that will link up play. Then you get it out to the wingers who are making the runs off him, and he's the guy that arrives in the box in time. Because remember, the wingers will have the ball, hold it, whatever, beat them, man. He kind of arrives in the box at a certain time and just taps it in. You know those kind of goals. It's like what Bellingham was doing recently last year when he was getting in the box in the perfect time. That's the kind of striker he is. But you know what happened under Eric? He was getting long balls. So he would link up play. Bruno would spam it. All of a sudden, he's still at the halfway line, but everyone else is in attack. Yeah. That's kind of where the frustration came from United fans. But United fans actually have never watched him. A lot of them haven't. So they don't even know what kind of player he is. They just heard we signed a striker from Bologna. They just looked at him as a savior. That's kind of what happened. And when they realized he's not the player that he is and it wasn't the same thing and he wasn't being played well, what happened was it just started to become a thing where they kind of looked at him and said, well, we don't want you no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do you know what makes me Hoyland? Hoyland's never bagged goals in his entire career. So I don't understand where this whole like perception comes from that he's like going to come into this league. He scored 9 league goals at fucking Atalanta. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's mad. How the
fuck
do you overpay for players like that? I mean, like obviously everyone does overpay, but I mean, fuck me, like you said, like with that record, like do you know what it is? I think as well. One, Man United always overpay, but because there's such a lack of fucking strikers. Do you know what I mean? Anyone that scores a couple of goals is all of a sudden 60, 70 million, aren't they?
Apparently, Napoli have bid 40 million for Garnacho. Do you get what I'm saying? I think if that goes through, I think we should start funding.
Well, how much did he say it was worth? Because remember when you and I had Northside had that chat.
I think I said 30 million, but they want 50 for him. But they're open to selling them.
Yeah, because we're linked to Matthias.
Was it?
Yeah, because obviously Kavic is going in it. So you can say he's going to PSG. So that would be probably a 70, 80 million pound
deal. Because remember that news came out, apparently United have to get rid of either Mainu or Thingy, and that's when the Mainu story started happening. But I think they'll most likely get rid of Garnacho.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be Mainu. We're linked to Matthias Tell.
How much do you get for Garnacho?
40, 50. I don't even know why. Listen, honestly, if Conte buys him,
like you say 40, 50, but who? By who? Who's going to pay that for him?
They want him, bro. Listen, if Conte buys him, we should build Conte a statue. Like that geezer is Man United.
We can try and go for that Kvaratskhelia. I probably butchered his pronunciation there, so apologies. But
yeah, no, you said it right.
From PSG.
Yeah. Oh, was he gone? Is he like that's? I knew that there was sort of like talks there. Do you know what I mean? And I knew there was something, but
they're like in a title race. Yeah. I don't think they're in Europe this season. I don't think they are, but they're in a title race. I think Napoli.
But Napoli, it's because you know what Conte done? He's mastered understanding the physical demands of the Italian league and getting players from the English league, which he has experience in.
I'm talking about
getting them into there. I don't know. I think he just wants to go PSG. Obviously, they're gonna fall 4 times or 5 times his salary because I heard he's on 50 grand a week or something like that. He's on low. I think he's on either 36 or 50, something like that. He's on very low wages. Yeah,
mate, he's gonna have a nice fucking paycheck next month, isn't he, man?
Yes, sir. Do you not think like a Premier League team would pay the 4 or 5 times the wages?
Yeah, because the wages that he's gonna get now it's probably what he was going to get at any Premier League club anyway. I don't understand why no one has actually gone for him, whether it's
I
Liverpool.
don't understand. Do you know what you should do? You should wait till the summer and then go Premier
Just
League.
quickly, big up Aguna Matata. Like and sub to his channel, people. Sorry to cut you there, Touchline, bruv.
No,
Big up
I still could do good. Right off the turn.
Perfect for Man United in that left 10 role. Perfect for us. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
perfect. He would have added him on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's people are because you know what it is when people say 4 or 5 times his current salary, it kind of makes it look like 400 grand a week kind of thing. Because a lot of people are all these media players nowadays on some high salary, right? But because he's on such a low salary, it's almost like he's kind of leveled it up. He's on everyone else's level now, if that makes sense with his salary.
Yeah,
If you want, he's a really good player anyway.
He's
obviously they're trying to. He obviously now because he hasn't had great numbers since he won the league with Osimhen that season and Spalletti. So everyone's looking at the numbers, but if you really watched him in the Euros with Georgia, you don't need numbers, mate.
Yeah, right. There is though. It's because people also don't take into account that systems. Yeah, the way Conte plays, he goes 1-0 up and then he just parks the bus. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like almost impossible for an attacker to stat pad.
I'll tell you what he used to do at Chelsea. So when we lost against Arsenal that season, obviously when we won the league,
3-0.
He decided he's going to go 3 in the back. So I had to figure out what this 3 in the back was because I was a bit younger than I am now.
Was that game? That was the first game I had a season ticket. You know that?
Not Fabregas. Was it Ozil scored? Was it Alexis and someone else? I don't know, but it was like we got destroyed that game. And then he, for some reason, said, "I'm going 3 in the back. Victor Moses right wing back. This guy left wing back. I think it was Alonso or someone." And then I realized it's like if you look at it, you got 3 in the back. When they're defending, it's 5 in the back, right? Because the wing backs come back. When they're in the midfield, you have another 2 in the midfield.
What's his name? Who was it? You had a right wing back. I can't think his name's gone. He got sent off.
Victor Moses.
Victor Moses. Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You
so
had him, him back, didn't you?
Yes, you had him. So especially, and then I realized how effective that system was because it was like when you're defending, you got 5 in the back. You outnumber the opposition. In midfield, you outnumber the opposition because you got another when the wing backs go up, and in attack, you still got 2 extra players.
Yeah.
So he will figure out a system. Especially for him, it's going to be just win the league with Napoli. So he's going to do whatever it takes, whether it's sitting back or not sitting back. But his teams are deadly. Just the thing with he has strikers or players that he trusts, and they get the job done for him. You know what I mean? Even if you look at players, I don't know, like a Lukaku, he suits that league anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not as quick.
Definitely,
it's not
England, does he? Just don't, man.
Oh,
he used to.
Both of you boys can.
When he was at Everton, he was a proper striker. Do you get what I'm saying? And then he went. I want to say it was the World Cup.
West Brom.
I want to say it was the World Cup 2018, yeah. Or when he went to United, you could say as well. But we went to the World Cup and he bulked up muscle, innit? They told him to bulk up muscle, the Belgian team. And ever since then, he just never hit the same in the Prem. Like, he's always going to be a goal scorer because he knows how to find the net. Do you get what I'm saying? But
he never really done it at United, did he? I mean, he had spells, I think, at Chelsea and a couple of times he was there at United. What now? Right now,
I reckon he'd bag at least 12, 15 league goals in the league. Lukaku.
Oh, bro, he was hounded out when he had 15 goals in the season. You know, remember they used
to like him, but I just think
they were putting edits with him in Timberland boots and jeans and the JD bag that that JD bag everyone used to wear back in the day. Yeah. And bro, it was like they would just say he's not fit to play on the pitch. He did add weight at some point when he got older, yeah. But that season when he went to Inter and played with Martinez and Conte, he just turned into a different beast after he left United. And when he came to Chelsea, I was like, you know what, maybe he wanted to come back, but it's like he ruined it literally within months.
Yeah, he done that. You know, after he left United, he sat there and went on a podcast, didn't he, and said that like United fans have always got a scapegoat. It's him, Pogba, Sanchez, and all these players. It's like, bro, you were never a scapegoat. What do you mean? Like, I think United fans probably gave him a bit more respect, bro. We sent about 70.
No, but
about 90 million.
Not really.
He won us fuck all.
Yeah. Didn't he win the Europa League or something with him?
No, he won. That was
Ibrahimovic, wasn't it?
That was Ibra. Yeah, Ibra and Rashford were the strikers.
Ibra scored in the League Cup final, didn't he, as well, against Southampton, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I'm
he
sure you
scored-
beat
he
him
scored a
2-1
free-
or something like that,
free
wasn't it?
kick thing, yeah, last minute free kick.
Yeah,
so-
something like that. I can vaguely sort of remember it. But just while we're on the transfers, yeah, and I'll stick with you, Touchline. What have Man United got in the pipeline, if any?
Yeah, we just signed a left back.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Oh, you got one. Who was it?
Them ones, you know them clickbait channels. They'll go, "Oh, it's a wonder kid. Man United signed a wonder
Yeah.
kid."
Diego Leon, is it? Is it that Diego Leon guy?
But do you know what it is? You know, with left backs, yeah, wing backs, you always got to look at their build, innit? And he's fucking bolo. Like, he's bolo. For a 17-year-old, like, he looks fucking...
Bro, I just
Got
looked at him.
Kolasinac for Arsenal.
Aaron,
yeah.
he's got that Formula One neck. You know that Formula One neck? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, when they just big. Bro, I just looked at him. I swear that I could just see it.
Head down, bruv, and he could just good ball and
What's
just
his
get around the byline cross, bruv.
His name is
Diego.
Leon.
He's Paraguayan, I think.
Mm.
I can announce it today. Obviously, it was announced a few weeks ago. He's now.
I'll put it. Have you seen it?
What you mean, mate? Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Obviously, his picture's going around on Fabrizio's page. That's what I've just seen it.
What about anything else though? Because I mean, obviously, like I know everyone says, "Oh, it's always like a tricky sort of window to negotiate through or anything like that." But I mean, like we need some fucking signings, and obviously, I know Manchester United do as well because you're just like us, not the finished article. Though we've been working at it for a lot longer than you. Is there nothing else in the pipeline in terms of panic? Is it?
I thought they would have panicked, but they haven't. I think they're just going to wait for this the summer. If they can't get Osimhen, or they want to get Mawani, but I don't want Mawani, bro.
Yeah.
I thought he was going Spurs now.
Yeah, he's Spurs.
Nah, he's so he's linked now because I've just read it. He's linked to Juventus, Tottenham. Yeah. Apparently, they both made contact with PSG regarding Mawani. But they said that United called and whatever, and they're still trying to see whether what's really going to happen. Obviously, the run's not for sale. Duran, obviously, I've just read earlier that Villa said they're not selling him this summer at all.
They'd be silly halfway through the window to sell him, wouldn't they? Really? Do you know what I mean? Like if they want to, if they're aspiring for a bit of Champions League football, you don't
striker. United need those, or United obviously going to look at a specific striker for that system, innit? Probably one that runs in behind because they have the 2 10s in it. So that's whereas like you don't need one that drops deep and tries to create because the 2 10s aren't going to be making those inside runs. So I imagine
is that United then? Is that United? Was that a player you think you should go for?
United won't spend 150 million on one player. They just won't do it. I would love him, but no.
Is that Osimhen?
No, I just threw a second, because he's selling black players.
It'll be Gyökeres. It will be. I'm not even a fan of that big much of a fan of Gyökeres, to be honest with you, bruv. But it'll be Gyökeres. I want a Kuna. I want Kuna from Wolves. I want him on the left. Yeah, I want him. He can play both left hand and striker. He's a baller. Do you get what I'm saying? I want him.
Don't slip in the Arteta thing though. He's versatile, guys. Don't just.
But that's
so many fucking versatile.
Arteta's versatility of fucking putting Calafiori at left back. Do you get what I'm saying? Or doing something like that, or putting fucking Timber and Ben White at right back when they never played there before in their life. Nketiah, bro. Eddie Nketiah, nah, bro. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mate, Eddie Nketiah would have fucking at least scored one of them goals fucking yesterday, man. Do you know what I mean?
He would have bagged the hat trick yesterday. You know, if he would have bagged the hat trick yesterday. If he was in form, he would have bagged the hat trick yesterday.
My nan would have had a hat trick fucking yesterday, and she's been dead for 15 years, bro. Honestly, mate, it's absolute madness, mate. Like it's just absolute horrendous. Like the misses,
and then he missed a penalty as well. He missed a penalty as well,
mate. Like it's just absolutely shocking. We'll get into that. We'll get into the Manchester United thing now. But I just want to ask Yasser just quickly on Chelsea's plans for transfers, just to sort of finish that little bit, and then I'll let you run me out for the Man United game. Yes, what do you reckon Chelsea are going to be doing, if anything, in the January transfer window, bruv?
So we're looking to send Carney Chukwuemeka on loan. I think we tried to sell him, but we'll probably change our mind a little bit. You also got Nkunku. We're looking to send him probably to Bayern Munich, and get Matthias Tell. Yeah, so we're trying to get. I think we're trying to get Matthias Tell from Bayern Munich. You know that youngster, the youngster. And listen, I'm not really sure about that.
Just dropped it.
Yeah, Fabrizio just dropped it earlier. Matthias Tell.
Yeah.
So they've done.
So you're not fucking about then.
So they're probably going to get a swap deal done, Obviously, I knew that eventually Nkunku was going to be moved on, and that's because he's on that big wages.
Yeah.
So the way we've changed our wage structure from, so what happened was, I think Todd Bowley came in, he started spending his own money, getting Sterling and all these people, Koulibaly, and he's giving them that big money, which is around 250, 300 or not. He was just giving everyone the money, right? So when he started doing the whole structure stuff with the sporting directors and everyone, I think if you look at our wage bills, like every player is getting like 50, 60, 80, 150 grand, that kind of thing. That's the money roughly the players that we have are getting. It's more of a performance-based contract.
Which is right, I think, to be fair.
Yeah,
Our
so
base
what happens
salaries
is
are
once we
fucking
get Champions
horrendously
League,
high, bruv.
so listen, Rashid has seen it when he was doing a stream recently. I sent him the link, and him and Ozzy almost started crying when they started seeing the weekly wage bill and how much certain players are getting without bonuses.
I think we've only got 4, bruv, under fucking 100k.
Yeah,
and that's
so
one of them's that Norbert Neto fucker that we've got on loan, mate. What a shambles!
And then obviously for me, it's more. I knew that he's one of the remaining people, so I think there's probably 3 players left. It's Chilwell, Nkunku, and Reece James are the 3 players that are on that 240 grand a week or whatever that contract is.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, Nkunku's going to get moved on. I know it, especially with he's not getting all the minutes. So you know, the player like him, he's going to probably think, you know what, I want to move on or whatever. So obviously you got this move here. We want to strike it anyway. So we have been, before the transfer window, we were linked to Liam Delap. Gyökeres's agent was at the stadium, I think, when he played City, beginning of the season. So there are murmurs that we might spend money either now or in the summer for a striker. We want the striker money now, but then we also need a centre back. And then our manager came out today or yesterday saying we don't need it. I don't need a centre back, but
Is that games that they play managers, you know, where they're like, now we don't need one to just, because obviously it's one of them things. You come out and go, fuck me, we're desperate for a centre back, and then you go to a club and they're like, oh, you're desperate, are you?
But
Right,
it's the same. But it's the same with the goalkeeper thing. He's not willing to give Jurgensen minutes when Sanchez has just been rubbish. So for me, it's more, you know what? You want to die on this hill, you can. Do you know what I mean? This is your little first season no-hit thing, even though we still want to win things. I'm going to try to learn about you as a manager because it's your first season in the Prem. So I want to see what you do. So I'm kind of going to be off your back a little bit, but I'm also going to tell you when I feel like it's wrong, innit? That's kind of the thing that I wear with. I'm like, okay, cool. At the same time, the ownerships, i.e., or whatever you want to call them, the sporting directors, you can do what you want. You're going to be judged on it. So they're already on a very thin line with the fan base.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've had a couple managers that have failed, and you know, we haven't seen as much progress or whatever in the last few years until recently. So if they started to if they don't make the right signings and don't get rid of the players that they need to get rid of, and if you know, it potentially affects our progress, the people will turn on them. Because what happened with the last part and all these managers, it's going to be the fans will turn quicker than they would have in normal circumstances, if that made sense. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, I think we need a defender, we need a striker, and we need a goalkeeper. That's the 3 positions where we really think we need players.
Can I jump in there just one sec? Yeah.
Before you go as well, sorry. Before you go, we might also sell Viega. Is that his name? Vega. Robert Vega. I forgot his name.
Is that right?
So
is it?
He's a left back that can play centre back. So he was the guy that replaced Calafiori at Bologna.
Yeah.
If you remember, So with him, I think he started to get used to playing for his national team, aka Portugal. And what happened is he wants to play more regularly because he wants to potentially get in the squad for the World Cup or the Euros, whatever one's coming next. And I think that's part of the reason why. The thing, I don't see the reason getting rid of him because he's really good, but you know, you never know these ownerships sometimes. You know what it is? You don't know if the manager doesn't like him. Yeah, you don't know if the manager doesn't like him, whatever. He's linked to Dortmund, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, and you said you wanted to say something about Gyökeres.
Yeah. So Gyökeres. So obviously Arsenal played Sporting, didn't they, away? Yeah. And I flew out there to watch it. And I got there very, very early in the morning before I met sort of like a couple of mates out there. They were meeting me sort of later on in the evening. So I was having a little wander around, and where my hotel was, like pretty much fucking bang next to the ground, really. Sporting fans, they've done this like wicked thing. I wish they'd done things like that in England. So they've obviously got this like long sort of road, and it sort of like bends around, sort of like a horseshoe sort of shape. And they shut off like the road either side. And mate, like when I sort of say like burger vans, but like fucking jumbo sort of sized fucking ones. I mean, like imagine sort of your standard burger van times like fucking 10. Mate, like they had about fucking 10 of them dotted around, selling all different types of food, obviously all beers and that. And it was basically just like a fan sort of like thing. And I went there for a couple of beers, obviously. And I started speaking to a couple of the Sporting sort of fans because they see it in the colours. And before it, obviously, we'd played and we'd beaten 5-1. It was actually safe to talk to them. And you know, what I mean, they were approachable, obviously, because you know they were in good form, and we weren't. But yeah, like I started asking a couple of them. I was like, oh, what do you think about Victor Gyökeres? Because obviously, like you boys, you know, you probably take him at your clubs right now over what we've got. And you know what? Almost every single one of them said, oh, yeah, he's really good, but it takes him shitloads of chances to actually score. And I was quite surprised. I thought they'd all be fucking giddy for him, but they actually weren't, you know. There was a lot more negative sort of comments than actually there were positives. And obviously, like us, you know, I don't follow the Portuguese leagues, you know, like in and out. I don't follow Sporting. Yeah, like basically, like maybe us, like we sort of just see the headlines. Gyökeres has got 2, but what they were saying was like, yeah, it took him fucking 10 chances to get that 2, or 5 chances to get that 2. I was quite surprised at that, the Gyökeres, and to be fair, he didn't have a good game against Arsenal either. But it sort of put me off of him a little bit for that sort of reason, and the reason being, he's not going to get 10 chances in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Every single week. You know, you're going to be facing some difficult, tricky teams. And if he does need a lot of chances to put the ball away, I don't know. You know what I mean? He might come here and he might sort of light it up. But it just quite sort of put me off of him a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, considering that his own fans, and the majority of them was, you know, just didn't really fancy him. I don't know. I mean, would I take him over Kai Havertz? Fuck me, yeah. Let's get it right. He'd have at least bagged 2 yesterday. And while we're going to that, yesterday, touchline. You watched the game yesterday, obviously. I was briefly in your chat. Yeah. It wasn't a bad little win for you, was it? What do you feel, man? Let it all out. I know you've been waiting patiently to have your say on the Arsenal versus Manchester United penalty shootout victory. Yeah, go on, man.
No, don't do penalty shootout victory, bro. 10 men.
Yeah, penalty shootout victory, bro. I'm just saying the facts of what it was. It's an observation.
We came to the carpet with 10 men. Phase 0.5 Amarin versus phase 6 Arteta. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, phase whatever, bruv. Do you get what I'm saying? What phase is Amarin in, bruv?
Not phase success, I can promise you that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And we came to the carpet. We got 10 men. We got robbed. They got a penalty that should never have been a penalty. Do you get what I'm saying? They had chance after chance after chance. Do you get what I'm saying? Their fans were sitting there saying, oh, this is what I guarantee a month ago when they got the draw. Oh, this is an easy win against Man United. Little did they know, bruv. Do you get what I'm saying? Little did they know, bruv. You gave Amarin 1 week just to practice.
Bro, please just keep the mic on the table, bro. You love doing this thing with the mic, but it just messes up the sound, bro. Just leave it on the table, bro. Yeah.
Mic in your hand. Oh, I wondered what that was. Yeah. He's got the mic. Anyway, he's excited, Yasser, for fuck's sake.
You gave Amarin 1 week to practice set pieces, and now Arsenal had no answer. Do you get what I'm saying? Martin Odegaard. Yeah. First half, he was best player, by the way. First half, he was best player. Yeah.
Not because he was electric, just because he was the better of a bad bunch, I suppose.
Yeah, some of his passing was good. Do you get what I'm saying? But do you know what wound me up? Do you know why I was so gassed to see him miss that penalty? First 15 minutes, he gets a free kick. He sits there for 2 minutes. Justin Bieber in his fucking hair, bro. I told people, bruv, he's Joffrey from Game of Thrones, mate. Do you get what I'm saying? Just sitting there.
Little Joffrey, yeah, that fucking evil looking little shit. Yeah.
And then do you know what he done with the free kick? He passed it back to Jorginho. Do you get what I'm saying? Jorginho, by the way, little purple patch last season, and these lot were sitting there saying, "Oh, can we pay you more, Chelsea? Thank you, Chelsea. We can't thank Chelsea enough for Jorginho."
It's a smile on Yasser's face as well, yeah.
They haven't really said that about Jorginho, because to be fair, yeah. No, because listen. To be fair, yeah. We were kind of upset that Jorginho left. He was one of the few, that we didn't want to leave because he was a really good option off the bench that you can bring off as a midfielder. You don't start him and you don't put him on the pitch on his own on an island with no legs around him. Once you do that, you cannot blame Jorginho because we all know he hasn't got the legs. The problem is that people,
man.
you can't take next to him, especially when he got older. Yeah, that's exactly what you do. Because if you remember, Aaron, that goal Martinelli scored against us when he lost the when he went over the top.
Yeah,
that was Jorginho that slipped and whatever lost the ball. Yeah, he's not gonna catch up. He ain't got that. But he's more like a deep.
For us last summer.
With him, if you pay attention to him, he passes the ball around. He just keeps the ball moving. Yeah. When you guys played Brighton, was it? Yeah, Brighton. That game when he just kept doing. I don't forget what it was. But yeah, what's his name?
Four suicides, mate.
What's the guy called in the Ethan? Ethan got the red yellow card and whatever. Yeah. If you pay attention to that game, you see Jorginho keeps going to Arteta and speaking to him and asking him things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jorginho never does that. Usually midfielders never really go to the coach unless there's something wrong. Like they'll go up to the manager and say, "Yo, how do we deal with this? We're being overrun or X, Y, and Z." And Finky just keeps telling him, "Just go back on," and he just does this. But Jorginho, even with his experience, is struggling in that midfield. Do you get what I'm saying? That should be a very big sign. But instead, a lot of people are just kind of piling on about him. And I get that he's not the greatest footballer that you've ever seen, but having him take that penalty, I know that he knows how to take penalties because I've seen him take penalties, and he does the one Bruno takes. I think the penalty was before he got injured.
Take the penalty for us. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, Jorginho was on the field at the time. Why is that snotty, grubby little fucking wanker with the shittest goatee in the fucking planet? Why is he fucking taking that penalty? Because he wants the fucking glory so he can wag his fucking arms around like a little prick.
Yeah, but Premier League defenders aren't going to be ready for Martin Odegaard this season because he grew a goatee. That's what I was told by fans. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mate, do you know what? Someone needs to just like grab him and pin him down and just fucking shave him like a sheep, mate. Honestly.
Just shave his hair off, bruv. Do a Fergie on.
Do the old lot. Bick him, innit? Yeah, just hold him down and bick him, innit? Yeah.
Because he just sits there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Since he's had that goatee, he's been a bastard of a player, Martin Odegaard. I'm telling you, man.
Bro, he's got four GA or 4 assists or something like that since April or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
but for some reason, he's the creative spark. This is why I don't.
He did create a lot of chances yesterday. To be fair,
crossing the ball doesn't mean
18, or maybe not be 18 months, but it's a fucking long time. Like I think it's like since last April or something like that, which ain't 18 months. Granted, it's more like 8.
And he's been injured.
You know, when everyone's like, yeah, but you know, I mean, you expect more from that. I mean, like 4 goal involvements since fucking April.
This is why you want. This is why you would like to have another number 10 off the bench. Because if Odegaard's not performing,
type DM.
Why didn't we? It's that loop back around again to the transfer window, bruv. Arsenal fucking shit their pants, mate. Shit their little G-strings in the summer. We had an opportunity and it was a very pivotal window this summer. We'd just finished 2 points behind Manchester City. Manchester City didn't really sign that well. In hindsight, Savinho hasn't really done it yet. Everyone thought, you know, a Gundogan gonna come back. He hasn't lived up to the bill. So you thought, you know what? They're here for the taking here, Manchester City, and they've proved it in the way that they've dropped points this season. What do Arsenal do, bruv? We go and sign fucking Calafiori and Mikel Merino. I mean, mate, so people were saying to me, "Oh yeah, Calafiori and fucking Mikel Merino are gonna unlock Martinelli." But Martinelli's fell off a fucking cliff into an infinite manhole, by the way. And fucking Calafiori and Merino can't even unlock themselves, let alone fucking anyone else.
But this is the thing.
That money could have been invested on a Neto that you've got, bruv. It could have been invested in an Olise if we'd have got there a little bit sooner. He fucked up to buy it. And then, you know, you've got like an Ivan Toney. For the same money, we could have got Neto and Ivan Toney, Premier League proven.
Why would any of these players join Arsenal?
The thing is we weren't even in for them. Maybe they would have. I don't know. If we'd have got him before Chelsea, I reckon could have nabbed Neto. Like and no disrespect, just I reckon if Neto was offered the same wages and the opportunity to come to Arsenal this season after our Arsenal season last year, I reckon he'd have chosen. If he'd have said, right, which one do you want? I reckon, well, he probably should have chose Arsenal at the start of the season. No hindsight of obviously that. Same way, same everything. I think naturally you probably would go Arsenal. They seem to be on that way. Chelsea, you know, obviously you've started the season really sort of well. Last season finished it a little bit better.
Yeah, I think, yeah, but I think we'd pick Arsenal because for some reason Arteta has this thing where he can hypnotize the players. He told Willian he's winning
millions of fans, bro.
He told Willian he's winning a Champions League. So I think if you can do that to Willian, you can get any player.
He didn't even fucking qualify for it in 3 years, let alone fucking win the thing, man. That's embarrassing, man.
Because for me, there was always something about Willian going to Arsenal that didn't make sense for me. As in, he's gone, I get it. He wants to keep playing. Because remember the London thing, right? Like a David Luiz and some players that kind of still want to play at the Premier League, but they just want to stay in London. So it's and obviously him being Brazilian, and he probably told him come to Arsenal, whatever. I heard that one, but for me, the way he ripped up his contract and the abuse he got didn't make sense. And some of the abuse, some of the players are getting should be directed towards either the ownership or the manager. You don't bring a player in, and then because he's not performing, you just kind of say it's his fault, but you need to understand why did that player come instead of getting a player that you can actually use.
Yeah, listen, I said this on Lee's channel last night. Yeah, I like someone's made a point, and it was just like, look, you know, you've been given half a decade, which is unacceptable, and 800 million, like, you know, sack the owners. And to be fair, yes, I don't like the owners. The Cronkies can absolutely fuck off. But to be fair, like, and I've sort of said this, yeah, sweet, bro. I'll cut the point. Yeah, touchline. Yeah, you need to shoot, bruv. Thank you very much. I'll be wrapping up sort of soon anyway. But touchline, if you need to go, bruv, shout your thing out, man.
Yeah, touchline facts on YouTube, bruv. I might be live this week again, but I know I've got Man United, Southampton watch on.
Yeah, buzzing, man.
So I don't know if I'll be live on Tuesday or Wednesday after seeing it. Obviously, Chelsea, we've got a game tomorrow. I might do a watch long actually for the Forest Liverpool game. I'm telling you, Forest are going to beat them. Forest win.
Yeah.
But big up to Yasser, big up to Aaron.
No, big up touchline.
And people, don't go touchline. I like a bit of touchline, man. People go watch his content, man. It's good stuff. He's a Man United fan. He's a cocky little bastard and all, but he's good, man. And he knows his shit. Do you know what? For a young lad, this is what I like about him, people. Yeah. For a young lad, he knows his history. He knows his Manchester United history. That's a big thing for people my age. You know, you're not just the current team talk. You actually know a bit of fucking sense. You've looked at your Manchester United history. You can talk beyond the years that you've been alive, man. And I like that. And I appreciate you very much for coming on, bruv. You're always welcome on here, man. Big up, man.
Big
up, bro. I'll see you around, man. Big up, bro.
Yeah.
Big up, bruv.
So where's Rashid, mate? Where's Rashid? No, we're not cooking Rashid today.
No, he messaged me. Yeah, he said he let me know just before. He's like, oh, it's like a little work thing.
Okay.
And obviously he's just got a little bit caught up or whatever, which is cool. Do you know what I mean? It happens. Work. Do you know what I mean? Big up Rashid as well, and his links in the description as well, just like touchlines and just like Yasser's is as well. We'll stay on for a little sort of bit longer. I'm conscious of obviously at the time I didn't realise we'd gone to sort of 20 past.
But that's what I realised doing this. You know, over time, it's like.
Yeah,
you know, even remember the first time you and I met, and then we were backstage with King.
Northside,
and then we were on the backstage for like 2 hours, and I didn't realize. I remember looking at the time 1 a.m. I'm thinking, bro, what am I doing here 1 a.m.? You know what I mean? But it's like you don't realize it because you're so into the conversation and that.
Yeah, that's where I met. I'm sure I met both of you at that same time, and at Touchline as well. I'm sure we were both.
I think we were back. You and I were backstage with the real King, the United fan.
That's who it was. Yeah.
I think Touchline kind of came later on. Like I've kind of met him later on down the line, but remember the real King used to come on way before us. He used to be on way because I used to watch the channel, and he used to be on way before us. But yeah, man, it's like. Doing this is kind of like this is funny, man, because it's like the good thing about doing this kind of content is that there's always something to talk about. So usually when people get into YouTube,
big up Vic,
big up Vic. Like usually when they get into content on YouTube, you know the YouTube thing, people kind of run out of ideas and stuff. We don't run out of ideas because there's a game coming up. You need to do a preview, and you always have something that keeps you busy, and it's about managing the time. But yeah, man.
100%, man. That's why I'm sort of glad, you know what I mean, you bump into things. And one of the things I've noticed, I'm not the most prolific of people, man. I've got a full-time job. As of you, do you know what I mean? I don't know more about your don't know much about your personal life, but I've got 2 young kids, missus here, do you know what I mean? So being able to juggle the sort of time, do you know what I mean? It's sort of quite difficult, but do you know what,
because
man? I
really,
love it.
you know what it is with you especially, because you got the kids and the family. You're already spending time away because of work. And then the time you get at home, you're doing YouTube. You know what I mean? It's like you only got that bit of time. It's same with me because you got a family at home, and I come back home, and it's like jumping on YouTube. And sometimes I'm like, nah, what's the point? Let me just stay downstairs. But yeah, man, it's about just for me, and that's why I enjoyed the whole. For me, it's more of a hobby. I just come on here, talk football, whatever, and then everything else comes second. Like the numbers and X, Y, and Z, that all comes second. But yeah,
I'm
man,
glad we sort of share that similar sort of thing, because obviously, you know, like you know, fair enough. I'm one of them things. You know, if you get to that point where you know you get the required amount, and you know what I mean, you get fucking someone lobbing a super chat or membership. Yeah, it is what it is. But like and you know, if you are sort of one of them that are trying to really turn it into a massive career, that's all well and good for you. You know what I mean? Like, big up for you to doing that, buzzing. But I'm sort of more in the camp with you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I haven't got the time or the energy to ever be able to, you know, try and be the next fucking, you know, a big fucking channel or whatever. I'm just happy being on here, throwing my word in, because that's what sort of started off. I was in the chat, a lot of Lee's chats and things like that, and Jez's, big up Jez as well. You know, North Sides and, you know, things like that. And I'm like writing bits, and, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, do you know what, man? Like, I'm getting pissed off about my club. It gets to that point where you think, do you know what? I need to say something, man. Writing just ain't enough. I need to actually put myself out there. And thankfully, you know, I was in some chats long enough, Jez, and you know, a few of the boys, one of them being actually just has just turned up. Early doors, pick up early doors.
Big up.
Yeah. I think early doors. I think I went on his channel maybe second or third, but very early on to when I was just sort of starting up. I think I went on Yeti's first, maybe Jez's or early doors sort of second. You know, they give you opportunities, and then you start sitting there and think, oh right, I actually quite like this. You're talking to really, really, really good people like Early Doors Football. Give him a like and subscribe, people, if you haven't already. Great stuff he's doing over there. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's quite sort of nice to sort of branch sort of out and do that sort of things. You know, you meeting and people, like you said, you sit backstage sometimes and you fucking, you know what I mean. You look at the time, you think, fuck me, 2 hours has gone. I was on Lee's chat and it weren't backstage. I went on there about 9:15. I finished at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I was on there for 8 hours.
Yesterday was the one yesterday. I think I watched up to like 1 a.m. and then I just shut it off and went to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know how Lee does it. That's why he lives on his own. You know, that's
what. Yeah, but he had a good bit of sleep, bro. I had to go at work at fucking 6.
Yeah, and he also had, because he had a show with Saeed. Yeah, that was supposed to be at midday. He has that midday live show thing. He didn't turn up because he was asleep. Yeah, but yeah, man, it's like for me, it's more, and I think for us, it's because especially because we don't have any really goals in YouTube in terms of financially. We do what we want, if that makes sense. For me, I do have another way, and I can't explain to you, but it's like in terms of that aspect, it's like I'll do it when I want and I enjoy it, and it also really comes across as genuine because I'm not forcing anything to people on the screen, right? But the second thing for me is the responsibility of having and building a community, and I think a lot of people really kind of put that aside, and I think that's important for you to, like, if I'm gonna have a community and I'm talking to people, I want to make sure that I am actually, you know, taking care of them in terms of what I'm showing. I don't want to show myself drinking and doing this and that and smoking. Do you get what I'm saying? Or even like, because you never know what kid is watching you and learning from you. And I don't want to teach anyone anything negative. I do want to be myself, but I also have to think of that responsibility to my followers and subscribers. And I think that's something a lot of people don't really take into account. For them, it's more, I'm going to enjoy myself. No, but not in a negative way, but you kind of get what I'm saying. You do want to be yourself. I want to be myself. But for me, I kind of see it as there's a difference between being genuine and also kind of having that responsibility, right? You can be you and genuine, but you don't have to do the additional things. Now, obviously, I'm different to you because obviously I don't drink anyway and I don't smoke.
Well,
So
neither
it's
do I
kind
this
of
one. Do you know what?
yeah, but
and yeah, go on.
obviously
No,
I don't
crack
know
on,
whether
man.
you do, but I'm saying like obviously because I'm
Not this
Muslim, I
month.
don't have the extra stuff of like drinking or anything other than that, right? So it's easier for me not to do it on stream or whatever. But you know, you're English, so it's part of the culture. You know, having a drink,
man.
going to the pub.
We're
I
just
kind of
drunken
it's
slobs,
normal.
mate.
Yeah, so it's normal. So I kind of see it, but it's like for me, it's like I don't want to be showing that to people in terms of I don't want someone. Let's say for example, I don't want to be the one drinking whatever on stream, and then a kid watching me drinking and he ends up being an alcoholic or something. I'm not saying they would, but you get kind of see what I'm saying, because then I feel like I am part of the reason why he's done it, even though it's his decision. So in some ways, you know, you want to be showing people the right way, and whatever they do in their private life is theirs. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather focus on the football.
To just jump on into what Robbo's saying, big up as well, brother. Big up, an Arsenal fan leads you to that. Yeah, man.
He's
Listen,
right.
right.
He's
I promise
right.
you, So at the beginning, I'm not usually this type of geezer, and I'm really not. But I thought, you know what? I'm starting to put on a bit of fucking tub. I'm drinking too much. This is in December, and I thought, you know what? I built a fucking a gym up in my loft, and not a fucking crappy thing. You know what I mean? It's all right. There's a couple of grams worth of equipment up there, and I thought, January the 1st, bang, fucking diet, bosh, that's going really well. 3 kilos I've lost, by the way, people, in nearly 2 weeks. And I thought, you know what? Fuck it. While I'm doing that, I'll cop the drink. So if you've seen me with a bottle, it's 0% Stella. It's just to enjoy with it. I've had a little primey little weird thing today. But the point I'm going to say is, while going around the houses with it, is like you'd have thought in the week or the January actually rather that Arsenal side I'd have buckled. And do you know what? Fucking fair plays to me, man, because I don't know how I haven't cracked open a couple of actual cans of Stella, man. This Arsenal shit has been getting me down, Mr. Robbo 19 TV, man. I don't know how I haven't driven back to that fucking fridge, driven back to the shop and just gone just fucking stone cold Steve Austin them bad boys. Do you know what I mean? Like it's been a fucking it's been a tricky one having to stop my drinking my Stella I love so much and deal with the absolute fucking agony of watching Arsenal on telly. Just quickly as well to go back to the point and a big up tone as well. Aaron, you're going to create a big up, bruv. Keep it going, and I will do, mate. Get you and your dad on a regular show. Great banter and bounce off each other, and dad just straight underneath. Obviously, dad being dad. What you're saying is this is an outlet for your anger instead of being a miserable bastard around the house. I used to
say that. I used to say that to Northside because I remember I had a conversation with him before, and I said to him, "You know what? Maybe that's a way of us. You know, when your team is losing, whatever, that's the way of you, releasing your anger. But then you're good at home because you've already kind of let that steam out, if that makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying? You kind of you've let off the anger. You don't have to. Because remember, if before I went on YouTube or whatever, you'd be at home, you'd watch the game. If you obviously don't go to the games, and then obviously you keep that anger in, right? Unless you go to the gym or something, because you're kind of just holding it in. But now, if you have somewhere to let that thing go, you're kind of more calmer. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, I get it. Like, but do you know what? I will sort of say, like, not drinking. Back to sort of what you're saying about not drinking and that. I do feel a bloody lot better. Do you know that? Like, actually being a bit clear-headed. Do you know what I mean? Like, albeit, after last night, especially after Newcastle and all, I did want to crack open a couple of cans of beer. But, I said no, I was a good boy, but. February's going to come round, and on the Saturdays I'm going to allow myself a little cheeky little cheat. Do you know what I mean? You got to, but do you know what I mean?
I've realised though, a lot of Arsenal fans they either drink or smoke to get it.
Well, bro, we got to cope.
20
somehow,
years, no
mate.
trophy.
You know I mean?
Yeah. 20 years, no trophy.
1 years without the league. I don't know how I haven't been into rehab or something, mate. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
It's painful shit for us, mate. I'm telling you.
And
it's
Arsenal,
not an easy
and you
ride.
got Tottenham fans as well. That are just they're making music because they're just freestyling every watch along, and then you have Jacob who started playing the piano on his streams,
deflecting.
I think learning how to play the piano. So they all find some ways of just
trying to do anything but watch their fucking shit team, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
anything but watch Tottenham. You're all right though, yes, mate, because you've got the luxury of all that success that Chelsea's had, and 2, you're Dutch, so you're fucking chill as fuck. Do you know what I mean? You're just
Yeah,
one of them cool, chill guys, man. You know what I mean?
Because my football was just, I'm used to football in terms of like the way the football's being played, like in Holland. So it's like for me, we chill out. But to be fair, it's like in the football in Holland is quite the same as it is in other countries, like Portugal and stuff, right? So when big updates, and it's like Devante, the one that comes on
I do. Yep.
He's an Ajax fan,
and with his E, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's a Ajax
All
fan,
right.
and he bro, when last season when they had issues and they were low in the table, they were pulling out seats of the stadium and just throwing them away. Like they really started breaking the stadium. So in Holland, they actually have those hooligan like behaviors and stuff when it comes to the clubs, and they don't really allow a lot of things to happen, especially in the final Ajax and a couple of one like PSV and stuff. Yeah, so he's not wrong. He's not wrong. We even had some people that said that recently. That's not really happening. In Holland, I remember this. They used to have the fire trucks. That the ones you see and they spray the water to push the people away when they have riots.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them a lot when Feyenoord played Ajax, and they used to push the people away because they always used to look for each other and fight and whatever. So I have seen that aspect of the game as well. But it's strange because it's weird because I'm also a Chelsea fan, right? Which came a bit after after living in Holland. So I'm used to that kind of football hooligan stuff and that standard of football. And then when you come over here and you realize that some people ain't got no standard at all, do you kind of see what I'm saying? It's like, what? But yeah, man.
Mate, I'll tell you one thing. You must have been absolutely a Chelsea fan, buzzing. I was in my head trying to think of who else you had. Obviously, you had I Am Robin, didn't you, man? As that Dutch Chelsea link. I was just going to say, who would be your favourite Chelsea Dutch? I know you had Mattia Kesman, didn't you? Over the years,
but for me,
know more than me. My head's failing me now with Dutch and
Chelsea. I'm only 26, so for me, it's like Robin's also my favorite Dutch player.
Yeah,
and even though we had Sneijder, because that team that I grew up on, had literally Van Persie, Sneijder, Huntelaar. Do you know what I mean? Heitinga, who is now Slot's assistant. If you've noticed, he's the bald guy sitting next to him. That defender that got sent off in the World Cup final.
Did you have Van der Vaart as well? Was he just
Van der Vaart, Van Bommel, who was playing at AC Milan, Van Bronckhorst, who played at Arsenal as well. De Jong as well. Van Bronckhorst, I think he played at Arsenal as well. He's a left back, I think. Yeah. So
he was part of our 2002 title winning side. He was Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. He got injured with Robert Pires. He got a big injury into the last. I think it was about just before the second half of the season in 2002. Because I remember, I can't think, was it Bobby Pires? Not Bobby Pires. I think it might have been Thierry Henry who scored a goal. I think it might have been Villa. I'm not 100% sure. But do you remember back in the day, they'd take their shirts off and you used to have the signs, didn't you, on your vest? They'd usually leave like a little fucking letter. And I remember one of them said like Gio Robert, thinking of you on their way to the title. Yeah, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst got a big injury. And then I think he went to Barcelona straight after that. I'm sure Barca signed him straight from us. Van Bronckhorst.
No, I don't think it was Barca, to be fair.
I'm sure he went to Barca, bruv. Yeah.
He did in 05, 06. Around that time. Yes, he did. But he also went, I think he was managing the under-21s at Feyenoord because he ended up going back after he retired. And then I think he became the Feyenoord manager in 2015, and then he won us, I think it's the FA Cup. The equivalent of the FA Cup in Holland, and then he also won us the first Eredivisie title at I think for 18 years. So he was, and then after that it was Slot that done it in a while. But yeah, man, it's obviously being a Chelsea fan. I've seen a lot of players, but Dutch players you don't see as much of, and that's why you see me doing the whole Xerxes thing. You know what I mean? It's because when you really, but that's the thing when you really. Because I've also grown up playing under the Dutch system when I was really young. I've played under the football system over there. And it's really like, it's exactly how you kind of think it is. If you remember the Ajax football under Ten Hag, funnily enough, it's all about passing. their thing's literally all about passing, which is quite kind of the whole Johan Cruyff system thing, right? So when we grew up, we had Johan Cruyff had his foundation, and under his foundation, he basically worked with the government or whatever, and he decided he's going to put astroturfs in every area in the whole country. Now Holland is quite small, right? But we grew up having astroturf pitches near our area, at least, or within X amount of miles for children to play on. So I played football from a very young age on pitches and stuff. And then when I actually played and played for clubs, you realize that it's like they used to say to me, oh, big up early doors. They used to say to me, well, the ball's not your mum. You don't have to be all soft with it. Don't, like, if you need to pass it, pass it. And I realized it's all playing on the floor. And then when I came to England and went to school and tried to get to a team, I had all those, those kids that were built like rugby players that were just, running, and then you just hear the manager shout, "Take him out!" And I was a winger, innit? So I was like, "What do you mean take him out?" And then I turn around, I would just see
Pacey
someone.
winger, surely, yeah. You look like you probably fucking get across the grass.
Yeah, I was
quite
skinny.
quick,
I was skinny, so I was quick. Do you know what I mean? So I used to just run up and down the pitch. And then later on, after I got a few injuries, because I torn my ligaments in my ankle and X, Y, and Z, I just started playing up top because it was less running. Do you know what I mean? I tried playing in midfield, but then I looked like Trent in the Euros. Do you know what I mean? He's too much traffic and he just can't handle it. Not everyone can play.
For you, not for me. Well, I mean, it could Daniel Marlon. I mean, it technically could sort of be for me. We didn't really have him for very long.
Daniel Marlon, he's hot and cold, man. Sometimes you bring him off the bench and he's really good. Then I've seen it for Holland as well. But then sometimes he just makes all the runs. He just doesn't finish. And I've also seen him do it kind of, I think, against Madrid recently when they played Madrid Dortmund. But don't be surprised if he scores against Arsenal, to be fair. You know what I mean? Debut at Villa. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just quickly, one final thing. And this is for both of us, but this is definitely for me, this last one before we wrap up. I know you said you're only 26, but you seem like you're a very knowledgeable football fan. So I want to talk something we both have in common, and that gentleman right there, Dennis Bergkamp. I know you might have been a little bit too young to sort of see him, but just give me your thoughts on Dennis Bergkamp, man, before we wrap up.
I learned about him when I was younger. I was seeing clips of him because I was too young to actually see him play. Now, I do remember seeing people wear the O2 Arsenal shirt, the one Henry was wearing. I think he wore that in the Invincible year as well. And, that was around everywhere at the time when I was younger. Especially with Bergkamp being Dutch. We saw those kits around a lot. But when you've seen the way he moves, this is the thing that we see glimpses of in Dutch footballers now as well. Right, they have some of these things that Bergkamp had now. I'm not saying they're on his level. I'm not saying they play like him, but because he came through the Dutch system and the way that we play football, and it's all about having a good touch and passing and all that stuff, awareness. Because we used to teach us about passing lanes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you kind of, when I watch Bergkamp's things now, I kind of remember when I used to learn how to play football under the managers that I used to play under, and he just had a different level. He was just, his touch, his awareness, getting it around players. I always see that clip when he just clipped it around the player, just finishes it off.
Yeah.
And it's Bergkamp, man.
Now, do you know what? Yeah,
this is the thing.
That's the greatest goal.
Before you go quickly, with the players that I've seen in that 2010 World Cup and before slightly, I kind of, yes, we lost against Spain, and when you look at the squad, you realize, okay, cool. Hindsight is very good. So when I look at it now, I think, okay, cool, Xavi, Iniesta, X, Y, and Z, right? But I rated that team so highly in 2010, even the Holland one. Literally legends, left, right, and centre, Snyder, Van Persie, X, Y, and Z, right?
That was a great thing.
But then when I start looking a bit back and seeing people like Bergkamp, do you know what I mean? And Edgar Davids, who my cousin played with last week, a couple of months back, I think 6 months ago. My cousin played football with him in Dubai because he was randomly kicking ball. So it was like, So it's like, it's one of them things, right? You kind of realize the kind of level of footballers we had, It's similar to how you
Quality.
guys look at people like Beckham and Wayne Rooney. We don't have those level of players now.
That
We might have good
golden
players.
generation. Yeah, I know, yeah.
This is where also a lot of us come. Some of us still criticize the current players we have, right? This is why we don't rate some of the players that we see, and that's because we've seen the high levels, or we've seen the players that are actual ballers. So we can't really sometimes just rate someone because we can't see that he's benefiting more of a system than his ability and stuff like that. And that's why we've seen people rate people based on GA and stuff, right? Do you know what I mean? And
we never had that, mate, though, with strikers. It's just never a thing. I mean, like you was on about Robin van Persie. Yeah, that's probably your sort of growing up, man. You can go sort of back. Obviously, you had the Ruud van Nistelrooys for you boys. But, man, you had the lots of Patrick Kluivert and Dennis Bergkamp running the sort of show when I was sort of watching international football. And I wanted to come to it as well just before I do wrap up, man. Like, you probably would have watched it on YouTube 100%. But I think it was Frank de Boer that pings the pass. Like, it definitely weren't Ronald. I'm sure it was Frank. He pings the pass inside his own half, a long diagonal. And this is the Argentina goal in the World Cup, man. You must have seen it. Where
I think I've seen it, but let me quickly put it.
Dennis Bergkamp controls the ball and flicks it, touches, turns around on the outside. What a goal, and he runs off celebrating like that. I mean, I remember watching that live in the 98 World Cups. And you just think, what Dennis Bergkamp, man. There was not a player like him. Like you said, that he scores goals that no one else just did. And that sort of touch that he'd done and destroyed Argentina that day, he'd sort of done very similar against Leicester at Filbert Street when he got a hat-trick. The geezer just scored unbelievable goals, man. And obviously,
I've seen this. Yeah, the outside of the boot. Yeah, I've just had to look at it again just to make sure I'm not saying I was like, I've seen this.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Frank de Boer that pings the pass inside.
I've seen it. It was Frank de Boer. Yeah,
unbelievable, man. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up there, man. Listen, man, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. And thank you very much for giving me your time and coming on the channel, man. You're a fucking absolute geezer.
No, come on, man. Anytime, man. Anytime, Aaron.
You're always, bro. Trust me, you're always welcome on here, yes, mate. I promise you.
Yeah, listen, 100%, man. I'm gonna invite you on my channel as well. I was kind of using something other than StreamYard at the time because I'm trying to use this OBS thing, so it takes a bit of time to set up or whatever. But I am just trying to find time and do that whole thing. And you obviously reached out to me first, and I was like, of course I'll go on Aaron's channel, bro. Come on.
Pleasure, man.
Listen, the channel's Yasa TV. I'm starting to do a bit of watch-alongs and trying to keep up with the match reactions. But sometimes when the game ends, I'm not trying to film myself on the match reaction. You shut off the watch-along and you just leave. But yeah, I'm trying to plan a bit more content and see what kind of shows I can do and which people I want to add to the panel and stuff like that. And yeah, man, bro, just appreciate the opportunity. Obviously, it's always nice to share the screen with you, Aaron, man.
Yeah, no,
and yeah, man, lucky to find out about Aaron, man. Proper nice geezer. So man, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Not making me blush, Yasser, for fuck's sake, eh? You know what I mean? Yeah, but them people, man. He might be a Chelsea fan, everyone, but do you know what? If a fucking chill Dutch geezer who knows a lot about football is your thing, and he does, give him a like and a subscribe, man. Watch his stuff. Do you know what I mean? He's a cool geezer, and he knows about football, man. This is the most important thing. Sod the Chelsea thing, sod the Arsenal thing. He knows his football stuff, so show him some love, people. But yeah, and the same for me. Give a like and give a subscribe on the screen if you haven't already. And I'm sure you will be seeing the pair of us on screen very soon. But until then, enjoy the rest of your Mondays. And yeah, big up. Arteta out. You.